brought to you by WellnessPLUS.tv and made possible by the generous donations of Psychetruth Patreon supporters.
Hi, welcome back to Yoga with Jess. I'm so glad you're here to join me for part 3 of my splits series. Now this video is going to be a little more intermediate advanced. We're going to dive right into a flow to really get the body moving and get into some advanced splits variations, center splits, and some wall poses as well. So if you feel like you need a little bit more of a warm-up or a more introduction into splits, I encourage you to re-watch part 1 and 2 of this series. If you're ready to dive on in, I'll meet you on your mat. So coming onto the hands and knees, just for a moment here, spreading the fingertips nice and wide, tuck the toes under, and we'll push back downward facing dog to begin. So really pressing into the palms here to send those hips high. Relax the neck, maybe look left to right, shake yes, no, maybe. And just press into those hands to lower that chest down, eventually getting the top of the head to touch the mat and engaging the low belly, maybe shifting the gaze up towards the navel here. If you'd like to pedal out your dog, press one foot into the mat and then the other. You can. I'm just starting to warm up the back of the legs here, activating those hamstrings and calf muscles, getting us ready for our splits. Deep breath in through the nose, and then exhale completely. On your next inhale, left leg lifts up to the sky, nice and high. Really press down through that standing heel to lift the left foot even higher. And then exhale, bring it on through. Plant that foot in between the hands, rotate the back foot down, inhale up, warrior one. Feeling nice and grounded in the legs here. Opening up of the hips. Exhale, bring the hands back behind the low back to clasp. Inhale, slight back bend. And then exhale, lowering down, humble warrior. Big, juicy lunge here. Feeling those legs at work. Opening up the hips. See if you could drop all the way down. Try to get your head down on the mat. Really big, juicy lunge here. Inhale, come all the way back up, quick warrior one. And then let's open up warrior two. Might need to readjust, making sure we got heel to arch alignment. Nice deep breaths here as we sit into this warrior posture, activating the arm muscles and really opening up the hips. One more breath here. Inhale, straighten that front leg, send the hips to the back of the mat, switch forward with the pelvis, and then slowly tilt down for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Again, here we're stretching, immense stretch on the underside of the left leg and the inner hips. Using our back strength and our core strength to stay lifted here. And then exhale, let's bend that left leg, coming into extended side angle pose. Really reaching through the fingertips, one long line of energy all the way down the body from fingertips to toes. Deep open lunge here as we prepare for splits. One more breath here. Twisting the chest up towards the sky. And then exhale, let's rotate down, low lunge, step it back to plank. And then push back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here to recenter, refocus. Letting those hips come nice and high, maybe rising up to the toes, sending those hips even higher, and then coming back down to the mat. This is a good calf workout as well. Now shifting the weight into the left foot, start to lift the right leg up to the sky, nice and high. And again, really ground through that standing leg, through the left heel to lift the right even higher. Deep inhale. And then on your exhale, send that leg forward, low lunge, ground that back heel down. Inhale up, warrior one. Now really ground down through the knife edge of that back foot. And see if you can twist the shoulders and the hips to rotate towards the front of the mat. Inhale, grow long. And then exhale, bring the hands behind you to clasp the low back. Inhale, lift that chest up to the sky. And then exhale, coming inside that standing leg for humble warrior. Now again, really deep in this lunge, you might need to inch that back foot back a little bit. Really stretching out the inner thighs here, preparing for splits. See if you can get your head down on the mat. Squeezing those palms together nice and tight. And then slowly coming out of it, inhale, windmill those arms around, warrior two. Now if you adjusted your feet, you might need to come back a little bit higher. Just make sure that knee is right on top of that ankle for warrior two. Nice deep breaths here, really feeling those quadriceps engaged, hips tucked under. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Send the hips to the back of the mat, reaching forward. And then coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now pull that left hip forward so that your body's in one straight line here. Everything is working. This is a full body posture. Gaze shifts up towards the left hand. And then as you're ready, bending that right leg, coming into extended side angle. Lifting that left arm up towards the ear. Big full side body stretch here. And a nice deep lunge. Breathing as you twist. And then slowly rotating down towards the mat, low lunge, heel rotates towards the sky. Step it back, plank position, and then push back, downward facing dog. Coming back to the breath. Trying to get those heels down on the mat here. Extreme stretching of the hamstrings and the calves. Really preparing us for juicy splits. And then as you're ready, let's walk the feet up towards the hands. We'll come into a forward fold. Maybe take a quick bend of the knees, relax the low back, and then slowly straighten those knees. Bring the hands to wrap around the ankles and pull the chest down towards your legs. Now slightly shift the weight forward into the toes here and see if you can pull a little bit deeper, bending the elbows, and maybe getting the forehead to touch the shins. Now wherever you're at, if you're in forward fold and you're up here, it's totally fine. We just want to make sure we're feeling a really nice stretch along the back side of the legs. Relaxing the neck and shoulders here as we pull. Now release the bind, place the hands down on the mat. Let's step back with the right foot for pyramid pose. Now both legs are straight here. Again, we want to twist the hips towards the front of the mat so we're not opening up to the side, but keeping everything nice and squared off here. Inhale, let's grow long through the spine, and keeping that extension, start to lower down over that left leg for pyramid pose. Really feeling it in the hamstrings here. Being able to have flexible, loose hamstrings is, I would say, the most important thing for getting into splits. Hamstrings and hips, those are the key ingredients for successful splits. From here, let's place the weight forward into that left foot, walk the hands to the top of the mat, and then start to kick that right leg up for standing splits, allowing the head and the upper body to drop down as we lift that right leg high. Now see if you can keep that right leg straight. We are working to get it high, but it's more important to keep the hips square and that heel lifted and legs straight. One more breath here. And then slowly lowering it down to meet the left foot. Let's walk those knees out, shake it out. Maybe take a little dip here. Breathing, coming back to center. And then slowly straightening up for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower, and this time left foot steps back for pyramid pose. Now, if you find balance is an issue here, you could widen your stance a little bit so that you're not like walking on a tightrope, but having a little space in between the legs, that's totally fine. Whatever feels good to you, as long as we can shift those hips so we're squared off and feeling that amazing stretch along the backside of the right leg. Inhale, halfway lift, grow long, and keeping that extension now drape down over that right leg. Don't forget to breathe. When we hold our breath, we're depriving ourselves of that vital oxygen and energy and life force that allows us to get into these postures. Holding our breath is actually a disservice to everything we're trying to do. All right, from here, let's walk the hands forward, shift the weight into that right leg, start to lift that back leg up for standing splits on the other side. Breathing in, allowing the forehead to drop down. You can always try testing your balance too, if this is easy for you, maybe lifting one arm off the mat and grabbing the back of the ankle. One more breath, see if you can get that leg a little bit higher, and then slowly bring it back down to meet the right. Shake it out. Little pulses here. And then straighten it back out. Now from here, let's come into a wide-legged forward fold. Bringing those feet out to the side, slightly pigeon-toed in so the toes are facing in, heels out, and then bring the upper body down towards the mat. If you'd like, you can bring the hands around, grab for the outside of the heels, and bend those elbows to pull the upper body down. Maybe the forehead or crown of the head comes to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's come onto the palms. And now we're gonna come into our first true splits. So starting to heel toe the feet away from one another, just start to drop those hips down until you can't go anymore. See how low you can go. Maybe coming onto the forearms, really stretching those inner hips here as we rock forward. So we're not sitting on our sits bones here, but pressed forward, really getting that nice inner thigh and hip stretch. And again, you can totally be way up here. You're gonna get the same benefits, and over time, you just keep sliding those feet out and getting as low as you can. One deep breath here. And then as you're ready, let's slowly roll it back. This time sitting upright on those sits bones, maybe bringing the legs in slightly for our center splits. On an inhale, let's bring the arms out to the side. Exhale, left hand comes towards left foot and right hand comes up overhead. Nice big side stretch. If you'd like to flex that left foot, you can. Seeing if you can keep both hips on the mat here as we stretch over and twist our chest up to the sky. Nice deep breaths. Seeing if you could drop a little bit lower. And then inhale, coming back to center. We'll do the other side. Inhale, left arm comes up and over, right arm towards the right foot. And if you can't grab the foot, grabbing at the shin or the ankle is totally fine too. You can stay here. And again, over time, just working that body down to grab that foot. Nice deep breaths here. Breathing as we bend and stretch. On your next inhale, Coming back up to center. And let's bring the feet in slightly. Inhale, arms out to the side. Grab for those big toes. And with a straight spine, slowly lower all the way down as far as you can go to center splits. Now see if you can keep your knees rotated up towards the sky here. As we really work those inner hips. Nice deep stretch here. Maybe bringing the face to the floor. Breathing through the tightness, allowing your muscles to relax so you can get a little deeper. And then, as you're ready, slowly making your way back up. Let's shake it out. You bring the legs in towards the center. Now let's just counter stretch that a little bit. So shifting the weight back into the hands, let's bend the knees up towards the chest and just allow them to rock left and right. Bringing those hip flexors back to center and stretching out the hips here. Awesome. So now we're gonna make our way over to the wall. If that forward center split was a little bit challenging for you, this could be a great option to keep practicing. So just make your way over to the wall, spreading those legs wide, coming into your center splits again. So bring your heels up against the wall and press into those hands to try to press the hips forward as close to the wall as you can. And over time, you might be able to keep pressing them and sliding the heels away from one another as you get closer and closer to the wall, pressing into those hands, maybe eventually getting all the way up there. You can hug the wall. Breathing nice and deep here. And you can experiment maybe flexing the feet and pointing those toes and just seeing how that shifts your hamstrings and calf muscles, maybe allowing you to get a little bit deeper. And again, redirecting that breath towards any tight spots. And stay in these postures as long as you like. It feels so good. We're releasing a lot of the toxins that are being stored in these areas. And then as you're ready, just slowly back away from the wall. Bring the knees in. And give yourself a little hug, squeezing those knees in towards the chest. And then release. Now we're gonna stand up and do splits against the wall. So let's begin by getting into a forward fold, coming onto the feet here, and facing away from the wall. Make sure your feet are at least a foot away from the wall here. A little forward fold, stretching out the back of the legs. And then shifting the weight into the left leg, let's start to bend that right knee and lift the leg up towards the sky. Now place the foot on the wall, and then using our hands, maybe walk them a little bit away from you. Start to press into the palms and send the hips closer to the wall. Breathing into the tightness here as you get deeper and deeper. And this, my friends, is full splits up against the wall. So the more you press into those hands, you should be able to get those hips a little bit deeper. And you can experiment if you'd like, maybe getting that foot closer in towards the wall and really hugging those hips up into the wall. Maybe bringing the forehead all the way to touch. Whatever feels good to you. I find that if you're a little further away from the wall, you can experiment with either pressing, lightly or deeper into that splits. Oh, wow, that feels good. And then as you're ready, start to shift the weight forward, coming out of it slowly, the way you came in. And then bending those knees, a little squat, bounce, shake it out. And we'll do the other side. So coming back into that forward fold. Start to shift the weight into the right foot this time, bending that left leg and placing it on the wall, straightening it out as you walk the hands in front of you. And then slowly pressing in towards the wall, sending those hips against the wall if you can. Keeping both legs as straight as possible here. And again, I'm gonna try inching my heel up a little closer to the wall. You could press into those hands to lift that heel, if that helps. And just allow the upper body to relax. Crown of the head coming closer to the floor as we press into those hands and really feel this extreme stretch of standing wall splits. One more breath. And then slowly coming out of it the way you came in. Oh, coming to that little squat. Now, if you practice this just a little bit every day, before you know it, you'll be in full splits, like a ballerina or a yogi or whatever you want to call yourself. And then let's come back to straight legs. Forward fold here. And then take a little micro bend and slowly round all the way up to stand. Rounding the shoulders back, standing nice and tall, feeling that amazing blood flow circulate through the body here. Great job. That was not easy. The splits happen over time, so please be patient with yourself and easygoing as you work these postures over and over time get deeper and deeper until you get your full splits. So if you liked this video, I'd love to hear your comments and feedback below, and please subscribe to the Psychetruth channel. Also, check out my website, comingohm.com, to learn more about me and my practice. It was a pleasure flowing with you today, and we'll see you again on your mat. Namaste. This is day 1 of my 30-day yoga challenge. We're going to progress through some intermediate and advanced postures and just address overall wellness and stress reduction. Be proud of yourself.